of parcels!
Since the COVID-19 pandemic, online retail sales have more than doubled. So delivery services like Ninja Van have been working round the clock. Which is why today I am here to help out and to witness what big shoppers we are.
So Kim, how many parcels are we looking at delivering today?
For us, between 100 to 120 today. But for the whole of the country, I expect about 80 to 100,000, and that's an average day for us.
So 80 to 100,000 is an average day. What happens during those like mega online sales?
That's a totally different kettle of fish. We're looking at least 3 to 4 times that.
So that's like 300 to 400,000 parcels in one day.
I would say around there. That's what we're expecting this year.
Wow. What are we buying?
Okay, this one is, sorry, we're doing...
Bought this leather jacket, which looked really cool and it was really, really cheap. Found out it was fake leather. I had not worn it once.
This little tripod baby over here, I thought it was big enough or strong and sturdy enough to hold my DSLR camera, which I'm recording from. But I realized the ring light that I purchased, it came with a tripod screw as well. So that's where my DSLR camera is, and this is still with me.
So I thought that $5 would get me this giant roll of ribbon, but who knew it was only 1 meter long.
So it seems like quite a few folks bought things which did not quite turn out to be what they had expected. But I guess because of the price, it's almost a risk you don't mind taking.
Online shopping is a very addictive hobby.
It is.
See what I bought? A mouth guard. And what is this for? It's to wear on your face and put a mask over it so that you can breathe and talk easily. And I bought about 30 pieces of this for my staff. Guess what? None of them wants to use it. You know why? Because it looks like a dog muscle. Up, 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 up. So none of them wants to wear it.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. In fact, my wife bought a few too. It's probably like $1 each or something. Things we buy.
I ended up using
Like many, I find myself spending about 20% more online as compared to pre-pandemic times. So in this episode, I want to find out, is it really worth it to shop online? And are we buying more than we need? Well, first, I want to get to the root of why we're shopping more online.
So besides the fact that it's convenient, why would you choose to shop online?
Get to see a lot of variations of the same product.
Sometimes you can get stuff cheaper online.
Recently, we bought a lot of furniture from Taobao for home, and I think it's at least 30 to 50% cheaper as compared to the normal physical shops.
Most people I spoke to say they shop online because of lower prices. I want to know how much cheaper things are online.
What I've done is I've got an online and an offline bargain hunter, and I put them to a shopping challenge.
63-year-old Eric Cheong loves scouring stores in search for the best bargains. 27-year-old Emmeline Wong shops for almost everything online. Both shoppers will be tasked to buy these items: 3 pieces of codfish, 1 men's polo tee, 1 bottle of face serum, a pair of wireless Bluetooth earphones, 1 packet of XL size diapers, and 1 box of 50 3-ply face masks. I've given them 2 weeks to look for these items on my shopping list. I'm back today to meet Emmeline and Eric. I've asked Waven Shi, a digital marketing expert with over 10 years of consulting experience, to join me in reviewing their shopping haul.
Hello. So you've got all your shopping here. We'll start with the codfish first. What are your prices? Okay, Emily, 38.85. Eric, 39.60.
My codfish I bought directly from the seafood wholesaler.
For frozen codfish, I think the online will definitely get a better deal because generally we will buy in bulk and the delivery charges will be waived.
Let's take a look at the next item, these shirts that you got. Show me the prices. Online 2316, offline 1990. Wow, Eric, not bad. Where did you go offline shopping for this polo tee?
And I called up to various shops, and I went to that shop that has that special promotional sale.
So for brands, for fashion brands, I think it's a tiebreaker. Because generally there are a lot of different sales mechanics online, and shopping malls, because of what's happening, they also give a lot of discounts from a shopping mall-wide or store-wide discount.
Let's move on to the next item, and that's this face serum, right? Eric, $37. Emmeline, $20.90. Wow, that's like almost $17 difference for this. Okay, so you really got a good deal on this. What do you think, Wayben?
For beauty products, actually you can have a lot of options to ship from overseas. There's an option for group buys, bulk purchase, so definitely I think this will be an online bargain.
All right, let's take a look at the next item, and it's these extra large disposable diapers. Okay, let's take a look at prices. Emmeline, $18. Eric, $21.95.
Okay, for my diaper, I got it online. They had a bundle deal, so it was $72 for 4 packets. They actually shipped it to my house, but I have to buy 4.
I actually have a 1 and a 3-year-old. Basically, we have not purchased any wet wipes or diapers in store before, except when we really ran out because of poor planning. If otherwise, we will always buy in bulk.
Let's move on to the next item, wireless earphones. Okay, these are Bluetooth headphones. Okay, let's review the prices. Online $13.90, offline $39.90. Wow, this one's a big difference. Eric, yours is almost $20 more. So I've compared the two, and they are, almost exactly the same. The specs on the box say they're exactly the same, but the model number is slightly different, and the price, we've seen a big difference. Why is that the case?
So some of these brands actually create products from different countries.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a local version as well as a global versions. So that might explain the difference in terms of the price. But also when you go for online, they actually tend to carry a wider range of product available. So they can have a newer version and a slightly older versions, even though the specifications are the same. But in store, sometimes due to limitations of the retail space, you may only be able to carry the latest product. 53-ply masks, online $5.50, offline $7.
They actually offered me 2 options for my modes of shipping. So I can have it at $1.49 more if I get it shipped to my doorstep, and I also can get it at $5.50 if I were to collect it from my nearest pickup point to my place, which is like 5 minutes walk away.
So the online shopping experience turned out to be about 20% cheaper in terms of savings. So should we all shop online?
I think for items like non-perishable products, it's probably better to shop online because there's a lot of different platforms, marketplaces that you can get different discount vouchers and stuff like that.
So the jury's out. Prices online for some goods can be almost half the price of goods in store. But as I would soon find out, self-control is literally thrown out the window when it comes to online shopping.
Go and claim all your vouchers and go and shop till you drop.
But is it solely due to cheap prices?
Once you come back and once you keep coming back, that is actually when it's checkmate.
I've learned that some online products can cost up to half the price of the same item sold in physical stores. Especially for beauty products, electronics and non-perishable items that can be bought in bulk. But does that make us buy more than we need? So I took it to the polls on my Instagram account. I asked people if they bought more than they need when they're shopping online.
Oh yeah, there you have it. 68% of us buying more than we really need to online. I guess we all lack a little bit of self-control.
I want to know how shopping platforms get us to spend and spend and spend. It's one day before 10:10, and I'm heading to Shopee Singapore, a homegrown e-commerce platform.
Hi guys! Welcome to the countdown to 10:10. We're your hosts. I'm Gio.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steven! So I know tonight's live stream is just a few hours before the 10/10 sale. Is it any different from the ordinary live streams?
Yes, so today's live stream will be slightly longer. It's going to be 3 hours long.
So what is the draw that comes from live streaming?
Flash vouchers, so it creates a lot of excitement for the users to claim and check out immediately.
And I guess they have no idea when you're going to reveal or release these.
Keeps the excitement alive.
Oh, then I better leave you guys to it. All the best.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the music. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Grand Festival! Okay, faster. Exit the stream. Go and claim all your vouchers and go and shop till you drop. Okay? That's right, because you guys have less than 24 hours, so it starts now. Bye!
I'm meeting Tiger Wang, the man spearheading the team in its marketing efforts.
Good to see you too.
So the big sales like the 9/9, which you guys introduced in Singapore, the 10/10, and 11/11, how genuine are these promotions and discounts? Because they're happening all the time.
During the big campaign seasons, the backend, we actually work with all the different sellers to curate the products and for them to give us the special prices during these promotions. Now, on normal days, of course, they don't offer a good price as during the promotion period.
I know Shopee also has its daily midnight flash sales between midnight and 2 a.m. Is there a science behind this timing?
We realize that for the Singapore users, there's a strong preference of coming to the platform after 11 p.m. and they tend to stay a bit longer till around 1 a.m. That's why during this period of time, we pack in a bit more promotions.
Online shopping platforms can spend millions on advertising and marketing gimmicks. But wait, that's no different from what brick-and-mortar stores do too. So why do I seem to get more hooked while shopping online? I want some answers. Marketing professor Ernst Singer is going to explain it to me over a chess game.
So a lot of these online retailers will offer you things like massive discounts, time sales, cashbacks, all to get you back online with them. But is that so different from a physical shop?
It's a little bit like a game of chess. You want to win, so how do I win? Well, actually by predicting what you will do, right? I need to look several steps ahead. And what we see is that online retailers are actually very well suited for doing this. The main advantage that online shops have is that they have a large amount of data that they can actually use.
How are they using it?
Well, actually the data would be used in all steps of the consumer journey.
Say when I subscribe or I log in. Boom, step one.
Once you create an account, I actually start gathering information on you. For example, what is your gender? What is your date of birth? Yeah, but also what interests do you have? What products do you typically shop for? We observe your clickstream data, so we know exactly which products you have looked at. Yeah, what moment in time do you browse? Do you browse late at night, early in the morning, around lunchtime? How often do you browse our website? How often do you browse before buying a product?
And what if we go to the landing page?
Retailers also observe where do you actually come from. Google, for example, or did you come from social media? Or maybe did you click on one of our banner ads? By tracking you, they can work with advertising platforms and show you banner ads or display ads for the products that you are interested in. We're trying to find your triggers. We could even try to sell these products to you in a different way. For example, if we know that you're very sensitive to the opinion of others, yeah, we could clearly highlight the reviews for these products, so we could give you testimonials. Sometimes we also actually like to deviate from what we think will work. So sometimes we give you some more random suggestions. If you do click on them, then we have completed your profile a little bit more.
Right. So I've got my shirt, I've checked out, I've left the shop.
So what I can actually do now is to follow up with customized emails, push notifications. What we also see increasingly is that firms rely on kind of gamification, where we encourage you to keep coming back to our website. For example, each time you log in, I could give you an additional point or an additional coin or token. Once you come back and once you keep coming back, that is actually when it's checkmate. You're hooked to our website.
E-commerce platforms can be purposefully designed to nudge consumers to keep coming back and hopefully buy more. If that makes it difficult to resist online shopping, I need to know how to turn the table and best stretch every dollar that I have. To do that, there's one more thing I need to find out. How to snag the best bargains online.
You can see cashbacks up to 90%.
90%? Shopping online can be addictive, and if it's hard to resist, I have to know how to get the best value for my money.
Okay, but here's the thing. Every single time I try to buy a product online, I'm faced with this problem. The same item can come up with at least 3 different prices, and sometimes the price difference can be more than 50%.
I wonder if I should always go for the cheapest option. One of these items with multiple prices is the Philips air fryer. Nicholas Lee oversees the sale of kitchen appliances at Philips. I'm meeting him to find out what accounts for the price differences.
So Nick, help me understand why there can be so many different prices for an air fryer like this one.
It's confusing, Steve, isn't it? If you look at e-commerce in general, it's kind of split in 2 parts. If you look at platforms like Lazada and Shopee. So Lazada has Lazada Mall, Shopee Mall, Q10 Mall. That's where we as Philips have an official store on their mall, right? Then you also have what's called the marketplace, and then there are other resellers.
So on platforms like Shopee, Lazada and Q10, Philips has an official online store. On these platforms are also other retailers. These are resellers, some of which are not endorsed by Philips.
But even within your official stores, the price variation is quite large as well. I mean, your e-store is $4.99, on Lazada it's $4.49, on Shopee it's $4.09. That's a huge price difference.
Each of these retail platforms, even when we are operating the store ourselves, they are applying different pricing tactics. The platform can add an additional discounts or vouchers to consumers so that the price that you see is actually lower. So they can try and bring you as a consumer into their e-commerce ecosystem.
Such that when I think of buying anything online, I go to these guys first.
Correct.
So I want to take a look at this list of other stores now. How are they able to offer these prices?
They could be a new reseller, and one of the strategies that we see is, I offer this actually at 0 margin, or maybe I even offer it at a loss. It might be one special price on one well-known item, right? And that brings you into their customer base, and then you say, oh, actually they have a lot of other interesting things to buy, right?
So at this $3.27 price, he may not even be making any actual money from the sale.
I don't think he's making any money. I think that's a loss. The devil is really in the detail. If we look at the different options here, okay, one doesn't include a warranty, one has a local manufacturer's warranty.
What does that mean? Because I see the rest all come with international warranties. Is that standard for you guys?
That's standard. Philips has a standard 2 years international warranty. You are fully covered. Parts and labor is obviously part of that.
So why is it different and not an international warranty?
I don't know what they are specifying there, but it already smells a bit fishy. I mean, is this a reconditioned product? Is this a product someone bought somewhere else, right? Maybe, it was not quite the model I wanted, right? So I send it back.
Right.
Then what happens to those products, right? They then come back into an ecosystem where someone will resell it. Maybe that's also why some of the products don't have a full warranty, or why it can be so cheap because it's a reconditioned product.
And how can I tell whether it's a reconditioned product or previously returned product?
So each air fryer is also shrink wrapped. That's to ensure that it arrives to you in good condition. If you see that original packaging is no longer in place, that's a good signal that this perhaps has been returned by someone else.
So cheaper isn't always better. Products that come at a lower price may have different warranties or might not even be the original product. If buying the cheapest isn't always the best option, how else can I get the most for my money while shopping online? I'm meeting Xue Miao, the resident online shopping expert from financial blog Seedly. She's an avid online shopper who even shops for toilet paper on the net.
So we all love saving money. Do you have some tips on how we can save more money while shopping online?
There are a couple of websites that actually consolidates promo codes for us, so users can scroll through and see what promo codes are eligible for their own purchases. So this is one of the common websites. Another way is using Telegram channels. For example, SG Code.
Yep.
So SG Code is one channel that consolidates promo codes as well. So users can subscribe and they have regular updates of promo codes.
Okay, so promo codes, what else?
So another way to save money actually is through cashback schemes. So Shopback is an online platform that offers users cashback when you make an online transaction through their merchant. So what you can do is download the Shopback's extension button. So when you enter a website which is eligible and you make a successful transaction, you will actually get cash into your Shopback account, which can be withdrawn as real cash.
How significant is the cashback or the rebate that I get?
For year-end sales especially, we can see cashbacks up to 90%.
90%? So if I spend $100, I could get $90 back? Really?
But that's, we realized that these high cashback rates are mainly for niche products. So for example, your antivirus software or like your VPN products.
And how do I know whether this is the best time and the best price to be buying a certain product?
One tool we can use is the price tracking tool. So the price tracking tool allows us to see the price history of items to help you make a more informed decision on whether to buy the product right now. So usually these tracking tools are for specific websites. So for example, for AliExpress, you have AliPrice.
Okay.
Then for Shopee, we have Shopee Price Tracker. And then for Amazon, we have Camel, Keeper, and Honey.
You know, I've always shopped online and I still think it's well worth it, especially if you take the time and effort to do the research in order to secure the best deals. But I've also learned that my online shopping experience is customized in more ways than I realized, and it's all part of their plan to keep me hooked so that I keep coming back to buy more stuff. Question is, even knowing all that I know now, with a big sale like 11/11 coming up, what will I do? Well, I guess I'll keep my eye on the most attractive deals while still watching my wallet.